Greetings and welcome to I Am Powered by Love TV. I'm Demi, and welcome to the New Moon Energy Report, Akashic Record Channel reading with Tara. And if you're tuning in, all you beautiful humans, for the very first time, this is I Am Powered by Love TV, and we also have so much other types of content. Hope you're following us on Soul Mate, Soul Scopes, or your Soul Scopes. Two different types of readings there, but welcome in. And don't forget, if this resonates with you, to please subscribe. Don't forget to ding, that little bell so that you can get all the updated, new, fresh content every time we post content. And don't forget to leave us a comment. And I want to thank you for tuning in. This channel is about uplifting and moving us through the places where we are, from one stage of awareness and consciousness to the next, so that we can manifest our dreams and the things that we deserve. All the things that we desire. We don't get there with the same blockages and the same mindsets and feelings and the emotions carrying around the weight of the past. So this channel is about evolution, enlightenment, alchemy, all those words that you hear. Check us out at IamPoweredByLove.com. And I'm Demi, spiritual life coach, Akashic record reader, Reiki master, and so much more. Certified aromatherapist. But check us out at IamPoweredByLove.com. And we're going to get started with this new moon. This is a very, very potent moon. The hugest topics that we're going to talk about are love and relationships. This moon, new moon, and if you don't have a new moon ritual, we're going to talk about that at the end. Please stay tuned for that. We'll drop a timestamp about the new moon ritual. But this is about love and relationships. This sector for this year right now is converging multiple planetary aspects. And so it's targeting our heart center, the place where the mind and the heart come together to manifest a dream, a desire, or what you deserve. So in our relationships, we're going to see some very challenging aspects, because this new moon is placed at a very challenging angle. And so its thoughts are going to be about what it is we really deserve, and how to look at that and find it, and the blockages that are keeping us from evolving into the space where we can walk in the embracement and the embodiment of who we want to be. And that's why Mercury is in retrograde. So these two aspects are coming together. And also you'll want to look out for our blue moon report at the end of the month, because with Mercury in transit in retrograde, and if you haven't seen the retrograde reading, you'll want to tune into that as well, because these two moons are having a dynamic effect. And if you don't know a lot about why you should keep up with a new moon reading as opposed to a full moon, it's simply because the new moon's energy lasts 30 days. And that's why a lot of people do rituals to set an intention at that time. Because what we're going to find is everything that's happening right now, if we don't set intention during the new moon energy, that will carry forward for the next 30 days, which is also covering the same time span of this particular retrograde and some other planetary aspects. So the first thing, we're going to look at the tarot heart cards, because communication is going to be deeply impacted. That's the first sign. There's going to be communication conflicts, getting your point across, and being able to speak from the heart. And so they're saying that we need to be able to forgive and bring compassion. So Mercury is affecting this particular moon, or new moon, with some very emotional insights and awarenesses of what we could be doing different. So forgiveness, slowness, and patience of speech, as well as bringing that compassion with our partners. And so for those of us in love and relationships, and this card just popped out, so we're going to be bringing that, who want to bring to their partnerships, relationships. These are for those in intimate relationships where communications have been strained all year because you've been focused in the business sector and financial sector. Communication is going to be extraordinarily vital right now, and there's going to be a lot of challenges to it. Mars, for one, is going to bring a lot of aggression. So blaming is not the place where the guides want you to focus. They want you to focus on what you did, how to make it better, and communicating from a heart-centered space. So the first card that did pop out here is the healing begins. This is the time right now in the universe with all the planetary aspects that are focused on this area, and I've been talking about it all year. This is also a large portal is opening up at the end of the month. So we are to begin a deep healing journey, which is why relationships are the target right now. Extraordinarily so. So the things that you didn't heal or didn't look at, this new moon in the retrograde of Libra is asking about balance. To be bringing back to balance, to look back over the year and see how you can bring yourself to a letting go and a forgiveness and the compassion. Nurturing yourself and your partner. This is not the time for demands. This is not the time to be setting precedents and what's the word? They're giving it to me. It's not demands. It's ultimatums. Thank you. They're saying ultimatums. This is about nourishing the compassion, the holding in the grace of the person that has been by your side. And these are for long-term relationships. This also is for friendships and family. So the family struggles, dramas, those things, intense relationships with your children, and also those long-held partnerships. The communication is breaking down and it's slowing down. And with Mars, with hard angles to the sun, you got a little bit of help from Venus coming in. And then with this, nurturing yourself, taking some time for healing, you're going to see that if you can really let go of the past, because Mercury is asking us to look backwards. It's not the time to be starting new efforts. This is going back and cleaning up, cleaning the closet, clearing the air, and seeing that those parts of your heart can begin attracting. And if you're single and dating, this is also a time to review where your intentions and your energy has been focused. Because if you wanted the relationship and you still haven't manifested it, then you've got to find out what your beliefs are and where they sit in your heart, and then let go of those. Because also for you, this is a time of healing. Mars is also extremely assertive right now. And it will cause not just aggression, but it will bring about erratic behavior. And with the moon, you've got those heavy mood swings. What we can look for, though, is those intuitive insights that are bringing up the parts of us that we do need to let go of. So we're going to go to the Psychic Tarot deck here. And then we also have Neptune and Pluto that are bringing rebirth, as well as a deepened spiritual journey. So we are in a time of deep transformation, as well as a deepened impact on our spiritual journey. So the awakening of the heart center is most paramount right now for us to move into the place where we can manifest our dreams. And for those of you who have been doing releasing and work and coaching and Reiki and sonic art healing with singing bowls and working vibrationally with crystals and really clearing and letting things go, you can look for a more deeper insight. So creating a firm foundation is what you're building right now. Be aware of the need or desire to procrastinate, hesitate out of fears right now. because a lot of emotional content is going to be being brought up right now. And this is also going to be a time where enlivening engagement is going to be bringing us in more contact with the people that we share deeper in intimate connections with via our heart. So we're going to be looking at creating firmer foundations within ourselves to really connect more deeper, and that spiritual union. Love and relationships is all over this cycle. And to deepen that union, you have to create a firm foundation. That firm foundation begins with healing and nurturing. You don't get there unless you let go. So forgiveness and compassion, communicating from a deeper space of the heart and not by demands, not by force. And also, because due to exhaustion, we have Saturn that is really demanding discipline and movement and routines and structure. We've got the Mars aspects that are making us focused and driven. I'm also bringing a heightened awareness of what we need to do. Those two are impacting the moon and Mercury. So it's going to be very important that we still our conversations and know exactly what it is that we deeply desire and what we are intending to do, because this new moon will impact us right up into the eclipse season, which is at the end of the year. So this is the moon where you really want to make the most out of setting an intention and creating an intention setting ritual. If you had never done one before, this is the one that you want to do that with, because this one has the power to get us to the eclipse cycle, which sets us up for 2021. Okay, because dreams are coming true for those who are doing the work. We're going to go to, actually, they're saying, so we're talking about heart movement and being able to see. I love how this, the heart is swirling inside of the infinity symbol. And there's two hands and they're already together. So again, we're still talking about love and relationships and moving from one position and together in the spiritual union of coming together. And I love that this is abundance. I want you to see the abundance of that cup there, also with an infinity symbol. Different deck. These are two different decks. This is the Oracle, same designer, same, can't remember his name. This is the Oracle Tarot, and this is the Heart Tarot. And you see the two together, raising the heartbeat, the love in combination with an eternity. So you have the opportunity right now for those in relationships who have just recently met someone and have been dating for the greater part of this year, and long-term relationships will be able to grow that. And again, looking at the universe, creating your world, your dreams in the palm of your hands, meaning that your heart and your mind have to be aligned in this vision. That is what a firm foundation is. Releasing those fears of scarcity that are in the root chakra, the fears of having and being worthy that are attached to the heart, those have to be released right now. And then sacrifice. What I love about, and I was just talking about this card, I don't like that there's the word sacrifice there, because it's not about sacrificing. This is about letting go. And we don't know really how to do that unless we can really come to a place where we understand that the beliefs that we have no longer serve us. And that's what this retrograde in the new moon of Libra brings. It's bringing about balance. So for me, when I look at this, the fluidity of the water, the calming, cleansing, healingness of the water into the channeled energy of rainbow. And then also I love the asana here in her hands, stretching back, opening her heart and chest, saying that I am ready for love. And so in that, you're empowering all light and love to also firm a foundation, create your dreams. And some of you are going to be making a decision to let those things go. And as you're letting go of the things that get you to this type of position, You have to move on past your past, through your fears, through your blockages, through the self-sabotaging and self-limiting statements. You're going to be seeing all these awarenesses. So this is going to cause a lot of mental and emotional conflict as you do. So it makes it a little bit of a challenge, because the slowdown of Mercury is going to create additional frustrations, as well as the events necessary for you to see these aspects of yourself that you need to let go of. This is a time of moving forward, although Mercury is slowing us down so that we can move past the place where we have been held and locked in place all year, unbeknownst to us, because we've been making great strides all year. But now the universe is saying this, you've been mentally focused and driven. Now we need you to connect the mind, the mental, which is why the mental is slowing down, and the heart is being the focus, and why relationships are its target, because that's where we spend most of our belief systems, is in loving someone else. And we need to begin healing the place that keeps us in that relationship at a distance, and growing it. It requires a self-nurturing and believing that we deserve to be loved, but then also giving that same love to unconditionally. We have to have it for ourselves. We have to be gentle with ourselves first. So that's what we see here in the nurturing. It's asking us to really grow our own self-love so that we can actually have the capacity to give that love to another. And then finally, we're going to wrap up here with 2 cards. This is the Starseed deck. It doesn't come out often, although I've had this deck for a while. She does the light workers, and this is the Starseeds deck, because those who are already beginning the awakening process, those who are working on Kundalini, those who are doing chakra Reiki yoga, and who are experiencing these shifts as they are moving us closer to the place where we need to be, is so vital that these messages come together. So I love that this card popped out for you. Again, this is the Starseed deck. You got the love. And so this is about these two things. They're saying that in this particular message that the boundaries need to be set, codependencies need to be released, and the fears. And so you're holding on, hoping that the person will provide you identity, source of strength, and these parts need to come from your heart. This is why that conversation with the heart and nurturing self is so important. Finding self-love, self-worth, self-confidence, and being in a position of the fullness. And how we get there is finding where we have and created beliefs or accepted beliefs or live in belief statements that deflate, and shrink us from connecting to the power of love and giving it, receiving it, and walking in the fluidity of it. And as we find that our deepest fears are the codependent type, where I can't make it without you, and you've got to be there for me. And these are the things that where those statements come into place of holding someone else responsible, and when they don't meet, they disappoint and we get hurt. Also, those demands of responsibility on someone else that no one was designed to carry. If we're not exchanging the dynamic exchange of love unconditionally, then we're hurting one another. But then also where we're obligating someone, these are the types of things that Mercury is going to be bringing out with those other angles of Pluto, Neptune. Venus is going to give us some assistance again to be able to clear our throat chakra long enough to speak from the heart and not in demand, or gosh, they gave me the word and I still keep forgetting it. What was the word? They'll bring it to me in just a second. Where we're asking the other, it's kind of like when you put someone, their back against the wall. Ultimatum. Thank you for dropping that back in. It's not a word I use very often, so they had to bring it back to my memory. This is what happens and if they're saying that you've got the love. We all do, and it's in there, and you're about to find it, seize it, and move into it. That's why they're saying that you're going to be moving on and that you're going to be nurturing that place. And as you do, you'll be creating not the firm foundation with the relationship, but with you. And that place of creating that allows you to align with and let the healing begin, as we talked about earlier. And they're saying that in this dreams coming true, you can expect these things: safety, deepened connectivity, not just with your friends, your family, but your children, your siblings, and this intimate relationship. This is the brotherly love card, or Star Brothers card. Because when we don't have trust and we don't have security and safety within the relationships that we have, we always are in fear that someone's going to hurt us. They're wanting you to know that you are protected during this time of change and healing and letting go. But they're going also back to the portal that is going to be available and to us here on October 31st. It's going to be a big one. They're talking about the earth pulsations, sacred sites, sacred energy, but also getting in nature and grounding that energy of healing and releasing go. I love that there's a beautiful waterfall, and that waterfall is captured in a small ravine of water. It reminds me of bath, and sacred bath is something that I do highly recommend during the time of a new moon. And allowing the cleansing, changing, and releasing of that process to happen as you emote and let go. And so we're going to look at one last set. And those cards are going to be from the Sacred Tarot deck. Got a lot of cards here, so I'm going to make sure when I go back to review them with you here at the end, we can do so. And this are the Sacred Power, which is your soul. This is your soul communication to you right now. First card that fell out. We have a saying, as you've seen, multiple cards just pop out. Whatever pops out comes to show out. It is your 1, 2, 3, we're done. First card that popped out, love it. It's that twin flame pool of intimacy. Again, this new moon is all about the relationships and building that intimacy. As you can see, if you do the work, if you really begin to heal, you're going to see that not only will your dreams come true, creating that firm foundation, we've also got the spiritual union that is happening, and the ability to take the relationship from one sense of growth to the next in the mood. And so this is where passion doesn't become an obligation. It becomes a joy. It's the benefit of being deeply connected to someone beyond the ego. This is when you can really, really connect and be free with someone. That's what intimacy is. Not just talking about the sexual content. I'm talking about deep passion. And that's what they're saying is there for you, because also that requires transformation. So these are the things that your soul is groaning for, hungry for, urging you and pushing you towards right now. And it's also superpower. And again, we got a powerful manifestation card. So because these are things that are moving forward, manifestation, powerful intimacy, moving the relationship forward, soul union, dreams coming true. This is the moon where, again, you want to set up that new moon ritual. So we're going to talk about that really quickly, and I want to thank you for tuning in. This is going to be the reading, so I want you to stay tuned. I'm about to go right now into a new moon ritual. There's many ways to go about that. What I recommend is crystal grid. I also and setting an intention. You should always have the right crystals, and I should have been a little bit more prepared because I'd show you a grid because I've got a billion of them. It's always great. You can do 1 or 2 intentions at a time or more depending on how many grids you have. I'd love to invite you to our crystal grid workshop there. If you've got some internal things that you don't know how to let go, there's a ton of different types of workshops that we offer. But in a new moon, it's time to really still yourself, listening to what it is you desire and what is blocking you, because that's the intention. Because you can't manifest an intention unless you can clear the blockage. So you want to speak from the blockage. You want to take that thing that's blocking what you want, and let's just say it is a healthy, whole relationship. Then you have to inquire and set an intention for self-love. If you want to manifest more money, then you have to find out what's blocking you. Maybe you need a new beginning. Maybe you have to start over. Maybe there's purpose involved. So then it's finding the purpose, how to begin this journey. How do you do that? And so you have to come from a heart space. Your crystals should line up with the energies that are going to shift or uphold you as you're making those releases. So compassion, forgiveness, things that are going to help you better embrace self-love and also self-image and self-esteem. So that's how you build a crystal grid. You also have to properly activate the crystals and the grid, depending on the type of grid you use. The Metatron's Cube and the Seed of Life are the two that I use most often. When it comes to Metatron's Cube, you definitely need to better understand all of its aspects because it's one of the biggest, most powerful grids that you can activate. The crystals need to align specifically on a platonic, and you want to do that at the height of the full moon's energy. And you usually have about 2.5 days span of energy during that in which to do that. And the other thing that I would highly recommend is a spiritual bath. And we're not talking about the kind where you go in and you get washed up. We're talking about a pre-wash. You get your hair pre-washed. You pre-wash your body. You clean the bathroom. You take in your candles and you do the same thing. You grab your crystals, and you need the higher vibrational and not water soluble. You need ones that are going to sustain and hold water and high amounts of salt. A lot of people go to Epsom's and other minerals. You need a combination of salts, 3 to 4 or more different types of salts, essential oils, and dried herbs. And you want to soak for at least 20 or 30 minutes. This allows all the detoxification and purification of your physical body and allows for the emotions to smoothly run through as you're letting go. You also want to spend a little time there looking at your intentions and holding the vibration of the intentions. But the release is what you're looking for with any ritual. The other thing that I would highly recommend is writing these things down. During the height of the full moon or new moon or full moon, you could do it. You could also do these things at a full moon. The new moon is going to have the most impact once again. Writing them down, saying what you'd like to let go of, what you'd like to release to help you move closer to the energy you need to manifest, draw, and attract what it is you most deeply desire to attract in your life. Writing those things down and asking for assistance, universal assistance, any guides, any angels. If you know them by name, the ones that may communicate with you on a regular, or an ancestor or someone who's crossed over that you feel the presence of them, write this letter to them, and then you read it out loud and you burn it. So those are just my ritualistic things. If you practice rituals, I do ceremony. I call them ceremonies because I don't practice them all the time. They're something that I do here and there. I think the crystal grids is probably the only thing that I make sure that I try to do it every other new moon, depending on what I personally have going on. It is the most powerful thing to me to have that vibration in the grid and in the crystals. But those are just some of the things that you can do at the height of a new moon. And I want you to stay tuned and also follow us on social media. Get connected. Stay in touch with the teachings that are going to help you heal, resonate, and grow through this this is a very specific type of new moon and retrograde. So get connected with us and find us all over Instagram, social media, on Facebook, Pinterest. Stay tuned on YouTube, and don't forget, not just subscribe, but hit the bell, stay notified, get all the updated new content. And if this reading resonates with you and you've got some things that you want to clarify to bring, to help you heal or move through, we do Akashic Record readings all the time. You can find those at IempoweredByLove.com. And I'm Demi, and I'm signing out, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.